Hi, I'm Kate Hahn, senior writer for TV Insider, talking to the cast of Mayor of Kingstown on Paramount+.
Just deal with the devil, brother.
She's been in the jaws of the beast. Someday he gonna finish his meal.
Every once in a while, it's nice to remind them they're the prisoners, not us.
Okay, hi, Jeremy. Thanks for talking to us about Mayor of Kingstown. Now, in Mayor of Kingstown, you play Mike McClusky, and he is the mayor, but this is not an elected official. Describe his job.
Yeah, he's not an elected official. Yeah, Mike McClusky's job, it starts off as an inmate advocate, right? As voices for inmates. But ultimately, what his job is to keep the peace, and what that means in this town where the main the job of this town is pretty much the business is incarceration, and he's the lubricant to this engine. He is the thing that is needed to make sure it all runs smoothly. It's a selfless job, but to keep peace in a town that doesn't have a fighting chance of finding any sort of joy, but let's just keep peace. Can we keep peace?
Diane Weist, let's talk about Miriam McClusky a little bit. She is the mother to the three sons in this story. How does she feel about what her sons do for a living?
She's really, really angry about what her sons are doing for a living. And it's the exact same thing their father, my husband, did for a living and got killed doing. And she is terrified, and she indeed wakes up every day waiting for the knock on the door, telling her that one of her children has been killed.
Well, Taylor Handley, you play one of those children, Kyle, the youngest son, and he's a cop. How much danger is he in every day?
Well, the streets of Kingstown are no joke. As you'll see throughout the season, there's constantly danger around every corner, everywhere you go. It's one of those towns where, you have all the inmates in prison, and then you have all their extensions kind of living out and around, and that causes for this just really tense town, this intense energy all throughout town.
Hugh, you co-created the show with Taylor Sheridan, and you guys also work on Yellowstone together. But I understand that Kingstown, Michigan, where this is set, is based on Kingston, Ontario, where you grew up.
Yeah.
Describe what it's like for people to live in a prison town and how it affects these characters' lives.
Well, Taylor was originally my acting coach 15 years ago in LA. And I had, this show for us now is about, as creative people, dreams and perseverance. And he would coach me. But then we'd talk about, what if you could make a show? What if you could do whatever you wanted? What would you do? And I was like, I grew up in this town that had 9 penitentiaries, maximum, medium, the women's pen. He was my coach for a reason, because I knew he is a force of nature. But then to build a world together with just the two of us was fascinating. And I would bring in things that I hadn't thought about in years, like growing up in a town where as a child, I'd see the guard tower and I'd think it's Disneyland, and it's the polar opposite of Disneyland. And it's the most brutal, ruthless place in our society, and it's hidden.
Your character, Bunny, is the head of the Crips and a drug dealer, and he manages to stay out of prison. So what is his secret?
Well, if I gave that out, I don't know. I might have to
give it away right now.
I really can't. Not right now. Maybe season 2 when we don't know, but it's definitely something. He's just I think he's just a really astute businessman. He's just a really smart person, really smart individual, considering the tools he has to work with, but also the things that allow him to be able to do things like that. Is not just the kind of person he is, but also the influence that he wields within that environment, and also the connections he has. The main connection being the McCluskys.
Aiden, On this show, you play a Russian mobster, Milo Sunter. What kind of reach does he have from behind bars, and what end game is he playing?
A great reach, as you know, a lot of people operate from behind bars, and a lot of bosses do, and a lot of people learn their craft and their trade in prison. But we're not really sure what the end game is, because there's this deal or a connection between Milo and Mike McClusky, Jeremy Renner's character, that we never really get to the bottom of or get to fully to grips with, even throughout the season. Although I don't want to give too much away, but there's definitely some kind of bargain or some kind of hold there. But the end game is to turn a profit and to succeed and to win, I suppose.
Well, Emma, you play one of the beautiful women. You play Iris, and you're sort of a pawn in Milo's game. It looks like Kingstown really does a number on Iris.
Oh boy, does it.
Can you describe what happens to her there?
Yeah, Kingstown just breaks her, Kingstown really makes her face what the reality of the situation and the danger that Milo actually is, because I actually think that she doesn't really fully know the workings of Milo's job, but that's what's in my mind. And she's always just been, Milo's got another associate who kind of tells her what to do. And I think that's her point of contact usually. And so she just lives in this world of like, oh, I don't get told what I don't know, and that's fine. And when she's in Kingstown, she's in like close proximity, she's really faced with the dangers that she's never been exposed to. And that's really scary as a woman, particularly as a woman in her profession and a beautiful woman. It's like, it's a really dangerous place to be in. And we see how that affects her and how she has no power in whereby in New York she really used to.
Don't miss Mayor of Kingstown, streaming on Paramount Plus November 14th.